Yes, exactly. Winter's going to be shit. So I'm like, oh no, I really made a mistake. I need to...
George Mienie's here, and he's not wearing... George, we were very captivated by your pink jacket that you wore in the last AutoTrader podcast. And you're not wearing it today. I'm very upset about that.
Oh, I would have worn it in that case.
Yeah, I mean, really. We liked it very much.
Where did you acquire that, George?
There's a
it looked tailored. I mean, it was a piece of work.
No, it's not actually. It's a Carducci jacket, which is kind of like just
off the
run of the mill, off the rack.
Okay.
I just seem to have one of those standard sized frames.
Lucky you see.
You know,
that's what you get for keeping trim.
Not like Garreth, but trunky around the
middle. That's what you call it, modified.
A bit trunky around the middle. Is that a thing? So, are we going to stand this? No, we're not going to stand this. We're going to complain. All right. So, how are things, Borge? What's been happening?
Yeah, good. I'm feeling a lot fitter than I was a month or two ago.
Already?
My blood pressure has come down.
Oh, good. Because I remember when you went that Cape Town trip and you were just shitting yourself. It was not good.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but for about 2 months, I was not well.
It's the vaccine, George.
I don't know what the fuck was going on, but
it was the vaccine. That's anything anybody goes through now, they're like, oh, it's the vaccine.
But my blood pressure I was seriously getting concerned about it. I'm actually seeing a cardiologist on Monday, which I do every 2 years.
Isn't that the place you bought your jacket, the cardiologist? All right. So what do we got today?
So you might know what this stuff is. I don't. It's called phosphogypsum. Don't know what that is, but Florida. We haven't had a story from Florida in a while. Florida are now, they've just passed legislation for Florida to start making roads out of this stuff called phosphogypsum.
Oh my God.
Which is a radioactive waste material. It's
on
a
the
byproduct of fertilizer.
They're going to make the roads out of this. So we're going to get radiation out of the roads.
Where would they have the surplus in that they can make a road, though? Is there something that's a byproduct of something?
It's apparently spilling into waterways. There's all this radioactive waste that is spilling into waterways and coming out of places that it shouldn't come out of. So now they're going to collect it and use it to make roads, apparently. So
I don't know if I'm in favor of this. I think anything radioactive, or even if it's just a side product that isn't necessarily radioactive itself, if it comes from that, and as Ben says, how many nuclear reactors are there working overtime to produce enough of this to make roads?
Well, it's obviously a byproduct of something that's happening. I'd like to know what that is.
Yes,
well,
it sounds dodgy.
Part of the report says a leak in March 21 at a stack called Mienie Point resulted in the release of an estimated 215 million or 814 million liters of polluted water into Tampa Bay.
Oh my God!
And so then now
so this is the cover up. This is
nothing to see here. Just look at the nice new roads we're building you. They might glow at night, but they're great.
Exactly.
Phosphogypsum.
I mean, interesting that they're doing it in Florida of all places.
All right. Okay,
of all places.
Yeah, good for Florida. They're always at the leading edge of weird.
So in Mienie Point, there's a phosphate plant.
Oh. Listen, don't knock phosphorus too much because we need it in fertilizers.
Well, it's a byproduct.
It's in our bones.
Well, I mean, there's plants of them.
Yes. Clearly, Mienie Point does sound dodgy as hell, right, Simpiwe? Where have you been? Oh, I was just working at Mienie Point. That's where I am.
Sounds like a made-up place.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's in Florida.
It does sound like an old age home, actually. That should be. We'll call the old age home we build for all the bands that come to South Africa. We'll call it Mienie Point.
All the reality shows happen in Florida.
All right, what else you got for us, Borge?
Well, here's a good thing. Subaru have started making shopping bags out of leftover airbag fabric.
What?
That's a very smart.
Today is the theme of today's podcast with you. Reusing old shit no one wants. Yes. What are you going to tell us about next? That they found a use for the Trabant?
No, but the next one's a little bit more economic. But
no, hang on, I'm still on this thing. So then now, what we don't have enough horrible bag. I mean, like Woolworths is impossible to shop at anymore because the bags are like 18 rand each.
Yeah.
Have you seen that tree that they've got in most Woolworths stores where it's bring a bag, take a bag story?
Yes, I've seen that.
I've seen that.
I have.
There's never any bags on there.
Yeah,
because people obviously take more than they give.
So it's take culture. Just
the
all
culture of take. And now instead of having plastic bags lying around on the sides of the roads, we've now got Woolworths bags.
Apparently those, I mean, it's not only Woolworths, it's, you know, Leroy Merlin and a whole bunch of them use or make those bags.
Leroy Merlin sounds like a place you go for magic supplies. What do you buy there? Like
it's a hardware
wands
store.
and owls and cages.
French hardware store. Not a French hardware store, but it's a French brand.
Okay.
And they're competitor to
like Builders Warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you do a lot of DIY?
I do.
Okay,
That's
so that would be a
probably
useful place. Is there one near you?
There's
Very good.
like 3 blocks away.
Okay, so this is it. So, Borge, how many of your Saturdays and or Sundays are spent going to that place and then coming home and making something or fixing
Probably
something?
50%.
There we go.
Yeah,
That is also, I must tell you, Simpiwe, you think that that's boring right now. There's going to be a point in your life, and I'm not trying to rush you here. There will be a point somewhere in the very near future where this will be the most exciting thing you get to do. I love it, and it is so much fun. You go to a hardware store, Simpiwe. I know, just use a bit of imagination.
I don't think hardware. I mean, I get the whole like Tupperware thing.
Not yet.
You know, I get excited about that. I get excited about linen now and curtains.
Home improvement becomes the most unbelievably important thing in your life at some point.
I'll tell you what I'm doing right now, right? So that's this weekend. So I have a room upstairs that was my gym.
Okay.
I allocated, there was gym equipment in it. I decided, nah, I'm fed up putting the gym in the garage because the garage had some space.
Right.
So I lugged all the gym equipment downstairs. I made it look, nice and comfortable. And after about 6 months of doing gym in the garage, I was like, no, this is feeling a bit dingy and dark. I want to move the gym back
And in
upstairs.
winter, it's going to be shit, right?
Yes, exactly. Winter's going to be shit. So I'm like, oh, no. I really made a mistake. I need to move the gym back upstairs.
Well, that alone is the cardio you needed. Just moving all the gym
it's
stuff.
now putting down the mats, you know, those little foam mats, and moving the gym back upstairs.
But you see, like you've seen George when he does the show, he always does it properly. Everything George does, he does properly. So he's made his gym a proper gym. It's not like if I had a gym, it would be a pull-up thing in the garage.
No, but that's not a gym.
I know, but George does things properly.
I'll do the show out of the gym when I'm done.
If you've only got 1 square meter of wall, that is a gym.
Yeah, correct. And I mean, I don't have space for that in my house. George has so many rooms in his house.
Gareth's got a garage full of pottery and potpourri and all those
And all the chemicals.
Well,
Potpourri.
he has
Potpourri in my house.
a chemical lab.
What is potpourri? What is that?
He's got old candle canisters.
You're the guy of potpourri in my house.
He has fencing.
You have potpourri?
No.
I don't even know what that is. What is potpourri?
In the 90s, you could not be a woman in this country unless you had potpourri.
Well, I wasn't a woman in the 90s.
I
I'm
know,
not
but it's just something
the opposite of Caitlyn Jenner. How do you know about potpourri? What is it? Hang on, George. Sorry.
There was an entire business called Biggie Best. And
I remember that.
Everything was potpourri. The couches. This thing was such a big deal.
I know what Ben's talking about, actually.
There used to be couch prints of potpourri.
Yes. It was like this cream color with flowers on it.
It was.
Get out of here, guys. Now.
It was an entire vibe.
Potpourri.
Everything from
Gareth, Google potpourri couch.
Hang on.
I grew up on a potpourri couch. This is why I'm who I am.
It's a real thing.
Potpourri. That's what it is. So you spell it potpourri.
Yes.
It's a mixture of dried petals and spices placed in a bowl to perfume a room.
Delightful. And then they made an entire thing out of it. There was bedspreads.
Potpourri fabric. Let me see. They've got
It's
things
proper.
here. There's tons of pictures on Google Images. Wow. Potpourri. It was a real thing.
Made whole curtains and couches out of that stuff.
Potpourri curtains. If you did not have them, people would look in on your house in absolute shame.
All right.
It was like doilies.
All right. Gray even knows it's dried rose petals, and he's a man. So I feel that I really need to get with it. Okay. Anyway, so Borge, you've been doing a lot of home improvement. We digressed slightly into potpourri. Let's get back on track.
I don't know if you know of this company in America called Carvana. So Carvana was, you probably know of this story though, linked to Carvana, was a company tried to sell cars using a vending machine. Maybe you saw stories about that.
It's a hell of a big
Right.
vending
It's a
machine.
massive vending machine. If you Google it, you'll see Carvana's vending machine.
Okay.
So you would go. There would be very little resource input. So the Carvana wouldn't have to have staff there. You could go and buy your car. It would come down the vending machine. You could buy it online and then go fetch it from the vending machine.
Sure. Okay.
Obviously, this thing didn't make.
I mean, what they just didn't think of the idea of car dealerships. It just
Well,
didn't occur to
they
them.
wanted to circumvent car dealerships. They didn't want car dealerships. They wanted to have a different model to sell cars. It hasn't really worked.
No, it's like that tree in Woolworths, which someone tells me was Brent Lindeque's idea.
Yeah, I think he sold it to Spar, and then Woolworths stole it from Spar.
Oh,
Bad things happen because you deserve them.
Yeah.
this is like Apple.
So the car vending machine thing's not working.
Well, it's a Carvana is I think under some financial pressure, but
Usually when you spend, and most people's biggest assets, aside from their houses usually, are cars. You're not going to go and do that at a vending machine. A vending machine is something you buy snacks from if there's nothing else in a bed and breakfast or a hotel.
Well, I mean, I digress off the story for a second. It goes down to, easy money up to the last probably 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
People would come up with these weird and wonderful ideas, and venture capitalists would throw money at them.
Mhm.
And I think this is one of those stories, in my opinion. But it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I can imagine a bunch of like Silicon Valley bank guys getting together and going, "Hey man, like I've heard the most brilliant idea. Let's see if we can really mess people around. Like we'll all throw a couple of million into a vending machine for cars. It's going to work, man."
That's how those things worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then fintech exploded.
Playing with the house's money.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the case at the moment because everybody's now chasing profits. But Carvana buys cars and then sells them, obviously.
There was a woman
second-hand
called
cars.
Carvana who used to be on TV selling potpourri in the 80s. Pretty sure.
They bought a stolen Maserati in North Carolina, put this thing in the vending machine, and some dude came and bought it for 1.3 million rand.
Uh-huh.
It was a Maserati Levante. Got his car out of the vending machine, and it turned out to be a stolen car.
Oh, that's bad press.
That's very bad press.
Not good for the vending machine business.
Not good because I'm pretty sure if it was a normal dealership, there would be some checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is exactly why the dealership is a tried and tested way of buying a car.
Exactly.
People might not, these Gen Z and millennials don't want to talk to anyone because they only know how to talk on text.
Yes.
They're terrified of these kinds of actual interactions, but you need to go and kick the tires.
Yes.
Right,
exactly.
George? That's what you guys in the trade refer. You kick the tires.
You got to go and kick the tires. This is a big purchase.
Yes.
You got to go kick the tires. I mean, we've just launched price ratings. The next thing is
with that very good ad of yours that we played last week, which
next
we love.
thing is dealer ratings. We're going to do
Excellent.
some kind of Hello Peter type review on car dealerships, which we're already doing it in the background. So
Excellent.
car dealers are getting their reviews.
Good.
George, this is a bold step. You're going to get guys from the East Rond showing up at where you live. Is that, hey, what's this about your dealership?
Yo, why don't you
rating?"
give me a 3 out of 10 with a tire iron in
He's
there?
gonna-
But believe it or not, there's some good dealerships out there that get some good reviews.
Oh, there's some fantastic ones. I mean, the one I took my car to get serviced at was brilliant. It was just seamless, great process. They seem to like what they do.
Exactly.
And it should be like that.
So, Carvana, you can't get away from a car dealership, unfortunately.
I'm telling you, one of the characters in Dallas was named Carvana. I'm telling you, I don't know it for sure, but I know.
He was a horse wrangler.
Yeah, and it was a woman with big hair.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton tits.
Potpourri.
All right. And potpourri. She smelled of potpourri. By the way, just to wrap this up, Carl dos Santos, who's Portuguese, says, "I think I was conceived in a potpourri couch."
Yep. Not uncommon.
There we go. Very good. All right. Well, if you want to see George's ad, you need to go onto the YouTubes and look it up. It's fantastic. It's also about a couch.
Yes.
Not
it
a
is.
potpourri one, but a Cyril Ramaphosa one that's stuffed with money. Very good. All right, everybody. Have a happy weekend and beware of the Cougars in Pretoria tonight. Woo! If you've been at a loose end since Billy the Bum's closed down, have we got news for you? They're all coming out like moths to the flame, burned by the fire. My love is blind. Can you see my desire? because that's the way love goes. Do, 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 do,
You got to
do,
put
do.
potpourri in this.
Yeah, you got to get potpourri in. Sorry, my rhyming skills are not as good as Gord's, who has been maligned on the show this week. We will get him on so he can defend
Yeah,
himself.
by you. No, by no one else other than you.
Ben Karpinski, former friend of Gord Laws. All right. Cheers, everybody. Have a happy weekend.